Hey guys, Sean Bougie here. If someone could, chat is currently enabled. And if someone could just let me know that you can hear and see me okay, that would be great. And then I've got a big announcement for you guys. And of course, we will open it up to live questions and answers. But I've got a big announcement to go through. Actually, two big announcements to go through. But if somebody could let me know you can hear and see me okay on the chat, that would be great. Hey, Carolyn. Carolyn says hello from Las Vegas. Guys, it is in private mode. I will respond and use your name, your first name, loud and clear, Denny. Fantastic. I will just use your first name when I respond. So I've got, obviously, we're good. I'm going to go ahead, guys, and shut down just for a minute the chat. Fantastic, Charles. Thank you. I'm going to shut down 5x5. Terry, there's an ex-military person. I'm going to shut this down for just a second. Sorry, we've got geese flying over. All right, so I want to get in this quick. It's Friday, and I appreciate you guys taking your Friday to come to the webinar. There will be a replay. You'll get a notice of that in the email you gave when you first signed in. That'll happen you should receive that around 7 to 7:15 this evening, because we typically try to wrap this stuff up in an hour or less. And it's a Friday, and I respect that. You guys have stuff to do. And again, I very much appreciate you coming to the webinar on a Friday night. So a couple things. First off, the biggest announcement is we've decided on what the next program is going to be. We are going to launch this January 1st. It is going to be the Surplus Funds 50. We had thousands of votes via Facebook and YouTube and email and conversations on the phone, tallied every single one of them. And what we got from you guys is 70% of you wanted Surplus Funds 50% of the net. That means you get 50% of the net. Let me make sure I'm good here. Okay. You get 50% of the net on every deal. Oh, good. Jeff put that up there. 50% of the net. And this won by 70%. You guys voted 28% for the deed flip, 70% for surplus funds, and 2% for peak bankruptcy goldmine. So having said that, there were 11 suggestions that I received from you guys. And it's important that you realize you guys asked for a lot. But Jeff and I decided we're probably going to give quite a lot of these. So the suggestions we received from you guys were: set us up with a VA, give us a list to work, okay? Let us work Florida along with the other 46 states, not just, so obviously we're still going to keep Oregon, Colorado, and Washington State out, but that's one of the suggestions. The other one would be let us work estates and probate files. Let us work companies and LLCs, keep the launch price under $400 and eliminate the need to check the list, help us get attorneys, give us ability to lock in the launch price for the whole day. It's New Year's Eve is when we're going to launch this thing. We did that last year. Do skip tracing for us. It's a big request, guys. Maybe we'll have to see. We'll be telling you guys in November how many of these things. Also include a rightfulownerproject.org membership like we did before on the launch. That's a lot. That was 11 suggestions. I'm not going to tell you how many because Jeff and I are still finalizing this, but we're going to include a lot of that in this program. We're going to launch it one day. You guys know from looking at our products list, the guys that have looked at that recently on the website, you guys know, okay, that there are a lot of programs that we offer maybe a few times a year. This is going to be the one that it's going to be once a year, because I have no idea how this is going to play out. We're giving up 50% of net, and let me make something clear. I'll do more of a breakdown later. But when I say 50% of net, I'm going to eat the cost of my crew, mailings, and calls. I'm not going to take that out. Okay? I am not taking that out. So when I say 50% of net, that's 50% of net after we pay the owner and the attorney. And guys, the reason this has come about better is we've gotten, and we'll go into a lot more in depth next time, okay? But we've gotten to where we're getting the attorney costs down too. So it's going to make a difference being on a 50-50 split. Big difference. This is not replacing Premier 16. It's not replacing National Surplus. It is a completely new program. It's as a result of you guys suggesting it. And frankly, it's a way for Jeff and I to say thank you to all the guys that have worked diligently with us and stood by our side and purchased the programs and became members and interact with us and all that, become part of the community. This is our way of saying thank you, but we can't do it all the time. Second thing is we are reinstating the Share the Love deal. And that is, this is for those of you that have already bought. Remember, send us a video testimonial if you had a success, any kind of success with any of our programs. All it needs to include is your first name, program that you're working, and the success you've had, and we'll send you a program of your choice. Now, guys, when I get that video, and under a minute, I mean, I've had 30-second videos that were just great. And right off your phone, just take an extended selfie. But, I've had people send it in before. They've sent it in and said, hey, this is the program I want. And I checked that and I never bought. This is for past buyers only, okay? I want to know that you bought our program and that's what gave you success, all right? Also, guys, there is a file. I'm going to open this up right now. I'm good. We are sharing a handout. Make sure you download that. It actually says right on it, handout. Make sure you download this. It's information that you can take with you that'll help answer some questions and move things forward. So again, surplus 50% of the net. We're offering that January 1st. It won by a huge margin. And again, we're going to you'll get a replay, guys, but out of the 11 suggestions you gave us, we're going to do a lot of them. And that was set you up with a VA, give us a list to work, let us work Florida along with the other states, let us work estates and probate, let us work companies and LLCs, keep the launch price under $400, eliminate the need to check the list, help us get attorneys, give us the ability to lock in the launch price for the whole day, not just for when we run out, because we have a target. Do skip tracing for us and we would do skip tracing for you. That's one of the suggestions, and include ROP. So that's huge. And again, I want to reiterate again, share the love. Guys, you had success with one of our programs, email it. You can go to the site, surplusfundsriches.net. I believe there's also a link in the handout, so download that handout that you can see there. There should be a link to that, surplusfundsriches.net. Click on Contact Us. There should be an email in there that you can send that video to. Obviously, again, keep it short and sweet. I have a Gmail account on there, I believe. If not, it'll be forwarded to my Gmail account. There's always a limit to what can be sent. It needs to be reasonable quality. And again, just first name, this program that you're working, the success that you've had already, and we send you the program of your choice after that. All right, so let's go. I'm going to actually open it up quick. It's only 6:08, but it's a Friday. So let me make this comment before I open up comments again where you can comment to us. Guys, it's a Friday. We did this just to see if we'd have a good response, and I very much appreciate your time and coming here this evening. If there's a lull in conversation, we're going to cut it off. We're going to roll through this. So this is your opportunity to ask questions. Any questions, pre-purchase, post, whatever, this is your opportunity. So here we go. I'm going to enable chat again. There we go. All right, guys, fire it at me. Any questions? There's always a delay between I let people know and you guys actually see it. I don't know if you realize that. It's not so that Jeff can have a button and shut me down. Carolyn, good news. Awesome. I'm glad you liked it. You must have voted for that one. And guys, again, you're going to get the replay on this, so everybody will know about that too. But I am really excited about what we're doing. But I'm a little concerned because a lot of the stuff that Jeff and I are talking about doing is going to cost us a lot of time, money, and energy. But you guys have been great to us in the past years, and we're trying to pay it forward a little bit. So this is when you guys can ask questions, pre-purchase questions, post-purchase, throw it at me. Give me any question you got. Tell you what, while I'm waiting, a lot of people ask me what are the best programs to get. I used to say best of the best just because obviously the platinum's the best because the price per program broken out and the number of programs is insane that you get. But I used to say, can you explain the bankruptcy program? Yes, I will in a minute, Sean. I used to say best of the best was a great way to go, but Jeff has the gold bundle right now on there. That's basically the best of the best with P16 and deed flip 30 on it. Guys, take the handout that explains all the programs we've got. There's a handout you can download, okay? Gerald, can I work this from the Philippines? Gerald, I got a guy working in Canada. I got a guy working in Singapore. I got a guy working in maybe Greece. So yes, absolutely. As a researcher, you're going to have a little difficulty getting skip tracing stuff if you're out of the States where they're going to give that to you, unless you have a contact in the States that you can use for that. In that case, you're probably going to want to use unregulated data, such as IDI data. Use somebody like them. Also, I really recommend highly, and I believe it's in the handout this week, microbilt.org or .com rather, MICROBILT. There's no U in there. Microbilt. Talk to Randy Mostetler. It's a great secondary system. It's a way to find people that you can't find a direct contact right away. Guys, I'm seeing the rest of your questions. I'm getting to them. But it gives you really good responses as far as possible associates and relatives. So that's something I'd really think about if you guys are looking at that kind of stuff. Can you explain the bankruptcy program, Sean? Okay, so just the first thing I need to say about the bankruptcy goldmine program is it's not the hybrid. That's a different program. Bankruptcy is unclaimed money being held by the bankruptcy court itself. It has nothing to do with overages, nothing to do with flipping. The bankruptcy court, if you check it, Google it, unclaimed money bankruptcy court, you'll see they have a ton of it. What happens during bankruptcy is if they liquidate assets, they take that money and they pay creditors. They use the address provided by the debtor that's going into bankruptcy, who oftentimes is got their head up their tail. They can't think straight, and they really don't care if they give the right address or not. So the creditors don't get told by the court, hey, they send the check out. The court just sends the check out, comes back, they throw it in their unclaimed file, and they don't make an effort to find the people. It's federal. As a result, there's no caps on finder fees. However, it's a low dollar. You know, right now, just so you guys know, our overages, we used to say 30, 35,000 was the average. It's up over 40 now, and that's because of the market going crazy. Flips, we're having the same response in that I'm seeing the back end where our average, I believe, net is going to jump from 30 to 50 grand on those. So everyone's going to benefit from that. But the bankruptcy gold mine is low. You're looking at $250 to $2,500 on average. However, it's really easy to work with them because you're talking to creditors, not trying to find somebody that owed money. You're talking to people that are owed money that were creditors, usually a mom and pop organization, a lien holder, something like that. And you don't have to buy them out. You can typically get anywhere from 25 to 60% of the total money. It's just a great program. I'd encourage you to read the handout too. All right, just purchase the best of the best. Think about getting started with the National Surplus Funds Program because Florida seems a bit crowded. Is this recommended? Antonio, Florida is not crowded. Here's what happens when we have a state, an individual state where we go step by step. And what happened was it's a coloring book. Jeff used 3 or 4 different counties in there as examples. What people do is they go to those counties and go, I'm going to use these 3 or 4 because he gave examples. There's 67 plus counties, 67 or more counties in Florida. Work the other counties that aren't used as examples. That's the only time you're going to kind of step on anybody's toes, work in the Florida program. And that's why it's separate. We keep that competition down. So I would actually work Florida. But national surplus, go for it. Carolyn, I don't think you need to provide lawyer or skip tracing, as you have given hints on that already. Yeah, Carolyn, it depends. We've got a few ideas, and Jeff and I, if you guys don't realize at this point, the beauty of Jeff and I have been together for about 20 years. The beauty of the partnership, the business partnership that Jeff and I have, is we talk very honestly and earnestly with one another, and we argue effectively. We don't give each other crap, get super upset. Excuse me. We keep it professional, and there are times where a lot of times we'll have a disagreement on what we want to do, and we both just agree to like, all right, give me why you want that. Okay, you give me why. Okay, great. Why don't we talk about this in a couple days or a week? You know what I mean? We let it settle. We think it through. We're thinking in the back of our mind the whole time. So it works really, really well. Wow. Great question. All right. So Marie, there's two great questions here, Marie and Gerald B. Marie, can you restate the new 50/50 program and costs? Sorry, I jumped on it late. And let me say something before I answer these two questions, guys. If you have not purchased yet, okay, we are in the middle. We're about to see kind of a little mini wave here of mortgage foreclosures because they let that go, right? The moratorium's gone, okay, or will be shortly. I know they keep bumping it back, but it's going to happen shortly in the next couple months. We've got that going on, and we have still counties that aren't meeting budget, so they're foreclosing a lot more on tax sales as well. So we're going to see a crazy, crazy amount of foreclosures coming up. So that's going to benefit both our flipping programs and our overage program. If you have not purchased, this is not the time for you to go, I'm going to wait till January 1st to get this new program instead of getting one of the programs. It's going to be available. That new program is going to be available for one day. And honestly, if it was me, I'd be jumping in now and learning the program, because the 50 program is going to have slightly different, probably submission methods and restraints and that type of thing. But you could at least learn the basics of what we expect from researchers. So if you're thinking about waiting, that's a mistake. All right. Can you restate the 50/50 program and costs? All right. So it's going to be under I'll tell you that. I'll give you one thing we definitely going to do for the launch price only. It'll be under $400. In the past, what we've done is started a little lower than a normal price, then bumped it up the next day. Guys, I don't think we're going to do that. And frankly, the 50% program, we're giving so much away. I'm not going to tell you exactly what we're doing because we're not sure of all the stuff we're doing, but I'll go through it in a minute because you asked, Marie. But if we do offer it again, it's probably going to be $800. I mean, just by itself, that's a ridiculously good deal. And we're doing a bunch of, these are the 11 suggestions you gave me of what you wanted in this new program. Set us up with a VA, virtual assistant. Give us a list to work. Let us work Florida along with other states, not keep it off the list. Let us work estates and probate, probate files, deceased. Let us work companies and LLCs, keep the launch price under $400. I already gave that cat out of the bag. Yes, we're going to do that for the one day probably. Eliminate the need to check the list. Help us get attorneys. Give us the ability to lock in the launch price for the whole day, not just if we sell 20, we're done. We did that last year, and we liked that. Of course, the way we did is we had people sign in and captured IP so that the system would know who signed in or not. Skip tracing, do the skip tracing for you. And the last one was include the rightful owner project.org membership, kind of like a BBB for asset recovery folks. We're going to do a lot of those. We will be telling you in November which ones, because we're still arguing about it. Okay. Gerald, assuming this is a churning real estate market, do I compare resale to a rebuild new construction costs? Gerald, that's one of the best questions I've gotten in a long time. Remember, guys, I was a realtor from 93 through about 2009. I was actually active. I had a huge real estate team with Remax, big muckety muck buyer agents, huge team, President's Club, Hall of Fame, all that craziness. I left all that. And by the way, it was extremely lucrative. Left all of it and stayed out of general brokerage because of what I saw in flips and overages. Way more money, way better to do. So as far as assuming it's a churning real estate market, do I compare resale? Guys, here's how real estate market always functions. It had for over 20 years, okay, that I've been in it. I'm still a licensed real estate broker. I own a real estate firm. Jeff's the broker in charge on that firm. The only reason he's not the owner and I'm the owner, the only reason between that is we just divvied up responsibilities on that. Here's how it works, Gerald. Resale always follows new construction. So if new construction's going up, resale's going up right behind it, okay? Because people compare. Okay, I can get exactly the house I want for X amount of dollars, but I could get a resale over here that maybe needs some money. It's still a better deal because even after I put the money in, it's up here. Resale always follows new construction. If you want to get in depth, you don't compare 2 stories to 1 stories. Real simple reason for that. it's extreme. It's a lot more expensive to build a one-story home than it is a two. There's a roof over all of the square footage. There is all of it, not just one, just half, not just the upper level. There is a foundation and often a crawl space underneath the entire house, not just the bottom half of the house. You know, it's a lot more expensive to build a single family. So you always compare single family. I mean, not single family, I'm sorry, single story to single story, two-story to two-story, that type of thing. I will tell you one other thing I experienced while I was a licensed broker. You know, everyone, what they teach you to tell people is pools don't give value. Listen, trust me on this. When people are looking for pools, they're willing to pay a premium for a pool, just so you know. So as far as rebuild, new construction costs, the value, Gerald, we're buying property on deed flips, flipping property that's going up for foreclosure. That's what we call it, deed flip program. When we do that, Gerald, we're looking at worst case. We do get pictures of the property because we're doing this nationally. Do get pictures of the property from them, and we send somebody else out there to get another picture. I can't trust the owner. I can't. But we get pictures of that. We do an in-depth analysis online, but I still do it kind of worst case. And I like to double my money, and it's easy to do with the flip program. So I can put 30, 40 grand in, let them stay for 2 months. Between the owners cost 30, 40 grand and flip it for 80. I can put 20 in, flip it for 40. I can put 100 in, flip it for 200. We did that in Durham not that long ago. Does the 50/50 program apply to national surplus for all programs? Mo, it's a separate program. We're launching it January the 1st. It is far more in depth, gives you a lot more options. It's going to cost us a lot of money to get this thing up and running, especially we're going to do quite a bit of those 11 suggestions. It's going to cost us a lot of money to launch this. It's going to cost us a lot of money to maintain this. So it's going to be a new program. It's not just applied to other programs. Skip tracing is the best way to learn patterns. That's from G. G, I have no idea what you mean by that. So I'd really appreciate it if you go a little more in depth. Skip tracing is basically to find people. I like IDI data as our primary. They do a great job at finding us the people. They do a great job of finding us, good Lord, their contact information, their email, their phone number, and their address. Microbilt is a great one to also add to that. BILT after that, microbilt.com. Get a hold of Randy Mostetler there. His number should be in the handout. Get a hold of that. And they will waive the startup fee if you mention Sean Bucci or Greater Good Company. That's our buyout company, not our education company. But that's our buyout company that we use because we buy out overages and we buy out people that own property. A third one, believe it or not, especially with the deed flip, because a lot of times the people are still in the property, is White Pages Premium. You'd be amazed at the good results we get from that. Also, if they're not in the property, you can do a reverse search, and it's the best reverse search I've seen by address ever online is White Pages Premium. And that'll give you a phone number for if there's a renter in there, and they're happy to share, believe me, the contact information of the owner, especially if they've got a chance of maybe staying when it's flipped. So that's my little nugget here for the evening. So, G, if you could explain to me the best way to learn patterns. I don't understand what you meant by that. Guys, we've got a little bit of a lull now. So if you've got questions, you need to throw them out at me. I'm here for you, but I need you guys to keep it rolling. The Surplus 50 program will be available ongoing with all other programs, correct? Yes. T. Lewis. It's its own program. So we're going to keep National Surplus. It's going to stay there. Premier 16 is going to stay there. And Surplus 50, we're going to launch January 1st, and we're going to limit the people that buy it simply because I'm giving so much of that out, and I'm eating the cost of all of our skip tracing, all of the people that are on my, what do you call it, on my payroll, because it's a lot of money. It may surprise you to know that we're not that far away from $500,000 in payroll a year, okay, because we have the staff backing you guys up. So I hope that answered your question, T. Lewis. Jason, can excess funds be claimed if the owners plan on redeeming their property, or will they have to pay it back? Jason. Jason, you may be calling, you may have some experience in Georgia, which is a little tricky. So here's the deal. In most states, if there's a redemption period, let's say it's sold, what Jason means, it's a post-sale redemption period. So it sells at a tax sale, let's say tax sale. It sells at a tax sale for 50 grand. There was only 10,000 owed to the county. So there's 40,000 in overage. But in that particular state, the owner has a year where they can still come up and go, oopsie, I missed all your notification. Here's the taxes. Or sometimes they have to pay the bidder back, the high bidder back. Here's the money. Give me my house back. When you get overages during that period, if you go to after overages during the redemption period, in the vast majority of states, that eliminates your ability to redeem the property. It's one or the other for the owner. Either they can buy their property back or they can get the overage. They don't get to do both and then hand the money back. The county's not going to let them do that. That is a great question. All right. I was thinking about purchasing the gold, but not sure if I should wait for the new program. Mo, again, get the gold because we're going up on price on that. It's stupid cheap. Jeff and I are arguing. I don't know if you can tell which side I'm on. I'm giving Jeff hell for the price of that because he priced the gold at the price of, it's like $100 more than best of the best, but you get the P16, which is normally $500 by itself, and you get the deed flip 30. Mo, I would get the gold or the best, one or the other. Okay. I get one of those bundles and then get the new program when it comes out because guys, trust me on this. You need to learn how to do this and you need to hone your skills and then jump on it when it hits the 50. You need to do that because in the next 4 months, we're going to see more tax and mortgage foreclosures than we've seen in the last 2 years. Trust me, it's going to happen. When starting and being brand new, what program should I start with? Ron, if you can afford it, gold bundle. I think it's just a crazy good deal. If not, my next recommendation would be best of the best. If not, you can always start with just National Surplus Funds Program for the overage program or National Deed Flip if you want to be involved with flipping property. Get the handout. It's on here. It explains every single program. And also go to surplusfundsriches.net. There should be a link in the handout. Go to that and check out. There's another overview of all the programs on there, and you can see the products. Surplus 50 will be exclusive limited sale January 1st. This is Jeff. It will not be an ongoing sale. Oh, I thought she meant that it was going to be an ongoing program, Jeff. You picked up that she meant it's going to be ongoing sale. Absolutely not. It's going to be a one-time hit period at the end. Jeff and I have talked about it. Just so you know, it's going to be nowhere near. If we offer it again in the future, I'm pushing for 800 plus. Just because I know, especially if we give a bunch of these suggestions, if we tack some of this, a lot of that stuff on with this book, it's going to cost us way too much money to not jack the price up way higher after launch. Okay. Just the price will change for Surplus 50 after the launch date, correct? No, T. Lewis, it won't be available. If we do give it available, it'll be like I just said for probably $800. But we're going to launch it for probably just January 1st and be done. Because I want to see how this pans out. Because this is, even if we only did half of those suggestions, it's going to cost me probably about $250 to $300 per person. That's not included. Guys, you need to understand the way we do things. Okay. We're not one of these guys just selling a program and going, hey, good luck. Good luck. Hope you do good. No. And then not caring if you do well or not. We make our money by partnering up with you, putting deals together, hiring the attorney, the mobile notary, negotiating the deal with the people, okay, putting it together, paying you out when we get paid out. We actually use a structured buyout, giving the owner 10% of the gross amount being held by the court up front and more when we get it out. We have a lot invested in making you and us successful. So we're not hit and run, and we've got a ton of cost involved. But that's how we've structured this. Okay. Just to verify, Florida is in the 59. It'll be a different setup, Gene, but yes, we're thinking about that. Remember, there's 11 suggestions. I got to check that. Jeff and I are not done. Please don't take that I'm going to do all 11 of these. We're going to do a lot of them. Okay. Surplus 50 will be exclusive limited sale. That's Jeff again. T. Lewis says, okay, Jeff, thanks. Denny, in Florida, after the 120 days ended on a surplus claim, how long does it take the court to distribute the excess funds money total as claim out? Okay, so Denny, what Denny's talking about, for those of you guys that have Florida, sorry, I lost you for a second. What Denny's talking about is 120 day. Now, Denny, that's only on creditors. The owner can still claim after that 120 day period. Okay. So that only creditors are limited. That's one of the beautiful things about Florida is creditors. If there are creditors against that money, they are limited to 120 days to claim it. And after that, they're kicked out. We can go with just the owner. Only state like that. Florida has a lot of statutes that are different. Can you describe the flipping program? Jeremy, yes. I'm going to do this in a nutshell. We have two flipping programs. One is the National Deed Flip, and the other one is the Deed Flip 30. The National Deed Flip, you go and find property going to foreclosure. Most people do pre-tax sale, right? It's got a foreclosure date, month and a half out, whatever. You research the debt and the value of that property online. We teach you how to do it, not hard. You fill out a worksheet with that information, provide some supporting documents like the deed, email it in. All the stuff is covered in the submission page. Email that in. We find the people, this is for the National Deed Flip. We find the people, negotiate the deal, buy the house, either let them stay in the house for a month or two if they need to, if they're in there, or just buy them out right up front. We then flip the property as is, whereas to an investor, and we typically double our money. The average payout currently is $30,000, and that's a 15% referral to you when we resell the property. That's with the National Deed Flip. So the average is $4,500. The other property is the Deed Flip 30, where we give you 30%. But in that one, you also have to find the people and have a conversation to see if they want to speak with us. It's easier to find people pre-auction, obviously, pre-tax sale or whatever. It's a lot easier to find them than if you're trying to find somebody after a foreclosure's happened and they're living in their car or living in their parents in Ohio, whatever it is. So it's a lot easier to do that. So that one's 30. So the average payout on that is going to be like $9,000. The other thing, Jeremy, to remember with this is what I just said, and that is because of an increasing market, not only will the average overage be going up, and we're already seeing a massive uptick from 35 to probably closer to 45, but in the flipping program, our net is going to go up as well because it's that strong of a market. And the predictions I'm seeing is we're going to continue to see probably a 15% plus appreciation over the next year in the real estate market. No kidding. Can't download the handout, Stu. That's fine. Go to surplusfundsriches.net, click on products, put your name and email in when it tells you to do that. It'll drop you on the products page. Scroll down, Stu, at the bottom of that page. A lot of that same information is at the bottom of the page. Will you be sending an email or text? I lost out on the flash sale. Yes, we will, G. And what we'll also do is probably have a place where you guys can sign up if you're interested so that you get kind of a priority claim on that, where you get an additional email and so forth. Oh, good. The handout will also be posted. This is Jeff on the webinars tab on surplusfundsriches.net. Okay. Do you guys have an affiliate program? Mo, we're going to start up shortly. Just so you know, and Mo, I don't know you, you don't know me. You know what I mean? We're going to vet if and when we start that. We've been talking about it forever. If and when we start that, we are going to vet the people that are our affiliates extremely hard. We're going to demand to see their website and where they're pushing our product, because we want to make sure that we don't want we don't even want the appearance of impropriety. I'm not saying you would do anything wrong. I'm just saying we're going to be real careful. All right. So Jeff, again, did say the handout will be posted. Guys, we've got another lull. Bring on the questions. And again, those of you guys learn, the surplus 50 is coming. I really wouldn't wait till January 1st to buy that program. I would get involved now and get rolling. at least with one of the surplus programs. So you're kind of ahead of the curve. So when it launches, you can really take advantage of it. Guys, even if we did half of those suggestions, and I know we're going to do at least half, the value there is stupid. And I'm going to go over that one more time, the suggestions you guys made. Set us up with a VA. Give us a list to work. Let us work Florida along with the other states. Let us work estates and probate. Let us work companies and LLCs. Keep the launch price under 400. Eliminate the need to check the list. Help us get attorneys. Give us the ability to lock in the launch price for the whole day. Do skip tracing for you guys. Us do it for you. And include rightfulownerproject.org membership. Even if we did just half. That's stupid. That's stupid good. So I'm glad you guys came out. It's Friday. We've got a pretty good bit of people here considering it's a Friday night. I expected that. We had about the same number of signups, but we've got about half the attendance, and that's because it's a Friday night. I'm not seeing any other questions. Unless you guys have another question, I'll give it a minute or two here. Unless I start seeing questions again, I'm going to wish you guys a great night. So I'm going to hold up a minute and see if anything else comes in. Guys, the beauty of this kind of a community, just so you know, is someone always asks a question that somebody else didn't think of. So there really is never a dumb question. I take that back. I had one dumb question. One in over 10 years of doing this. They said, hey, I think a surplus is going to be created on a person called me and said, my house is going to foreclosure. I know it's going to sell for more than what's owed. And I know, even with the other debt. So why can't I use the surplus funds to bring my loan back up to speed and get out of this trouble? Well, the house has to sell at auction to create the surplus. So that's impossible. And even then, it wasn't a dumb question. She just didn't understand the way this was working. Susan says, have a great weekend all. Susan, I appreciate that. I think we're about ready to bail, Jeff, on comments. I think we're going to just close this up real quick. One of the things I want to reiterate, guys, and of course, we'll send the replay to you. But remember, we got the Share the Love deal rolling. Send us a video. If you've bought one of our programs and had success, send us a video. All it has to have, it can be off your phone, right? Just right off your phone. All it has to have is your first name, the program you worked, how much money you made, and that's about it, all right? You send that in, we'll give you the program of your choice. More videos to go with the programs. Gotcha, G. Already working on that. Miguel says, thank you for everything. Guys, I think we're about ready to wrap this thing up. I hope everybody has a great night and a great weekend. Thanks for coming by.